Hello students, today I am going to discuss on the topic of machining and its mechanism. Requirements are key factors of machining. In my previous lecture, I always discuss about the factors or the relevant ideas of the machining and the machine tool. What is machining? Machining is a process where considerable or desirable amounts of material are removed from the preformed blank in the form of chips with the help of cutting tool or tools, and as well as with the help of cutting speed, feed or depth of cut. The ultimate result is that chip formation. The chip formation should be produced there. Without the chip formation, the machining action cannot be taken place. Before the machining action starts on, we should need all the arrangements in our hands, such like the workpiece or raw material. This is the item without which we cannot perform the machining operation, because we need the first the workpiece or the raw material. The cutting tool. Cutting tool can be type of single point cutting tool and multi point cutting tool. Then also, according to the inclination of the cutting edge, there can be the orthogonal cutting tool and the oblique cutting tool. Generally, the oblique cutting tool is more conveniently and effectively used in tool room and the workshop. Machine on machine tool, such like lathe machine tool machine and the drilling machine, shaping machine on machine tool, etc. Power source. Power source is the electrical power generally. Relative hardness. This is the most important factors, because the tool material should be always harder than that of the workpiece material. If the tool material is softer and with the less strength than that of the workpiece material, then the tool material won't be possible to import the required machining operation and the machinability. If the tool material is not harder than that of the workpiece material, then the tool can damage or blunt. Mainly three parameters are very effective and useful for the case of machining operation, that is cutting speed, feed motion and depth of cut. Feed motion is the three type. Longitudinal feed, generally it is provided in the x-axis, that is parallel to the axis of the job. This cross feed perpendicular to the axis of the job, and angular feed, that is given in the generally taper turning operation. In my upcoming slide, I always discuss about the taper turning operation. Relative contact of the tool and workpiece. In spite of giving the required cutting motion or the primary motion over the job, if the relative contact is not taken place, then the friction will not be taken place, and also the chip formation will not be there. For that case, the relative contact between the tool and the workpiece should be there. Cutting speed. This is generated due to the primary cutting motion and production of the chips. That is, the continuous chips is produced during the machining of the ductile material, and discontinuous chips produced during the machining of brittle material, such like cast iron, and continuous chips such like steel or aluminum. Generally, steel is more popular one, and continuous chip with built up edge is not very good sign for the chip formation, because there the might be tendency of the sticking of the ongoing chips, that is flowing chips, So each is getting a chance of getting the welded to the deck surface, and two surface can be damaged. That is why continuous and discontinuous shifts are more popular one. This is a turning process. Turning process means a diameter reduction process. It is a machining process where the diameter is getting reduced by the virtue of providing the feed motion of the cutting tool over the job, either linearly and crosswise. You can see this is the axis of the job, and whenever the tool feed is provided along the axis of the job, that is a parallel to the axis of the job, it is called the longitudinal feed. And whenever the tool is fed perpendicular to the axis of the job, this is the cross feed. Cross feed is provided for giving the required depth of cut over the job. And this small d2 is reached on the machining of the workpiece actually. That is the depth of cut is equal to d1 minus d2 by 2. This is the thrust force acts along the x-axis, and it is a y-axis, and one vertically component downwards acts along the acts tangentially across the cutting point vertically downwards, that is the cutting force. It's a shear formation. Whenever the tool is being provided the motion of the job, then in this zone the compressive force is generated, and upon the further movement of the job, the compressive stress is getting higher, and after that the elastic and the plastic deformation will be taken place. And number one is the shear deformation zone, number two is the secondary zone. One is primary zone or shear deformation zone, number two is secondary zone or tool chip interface, number three is tertiary zone or workpiece surface. Among these, in the shear plane zone or primary deformation zone, around 70 to 80% heat is generated, and 10 to 15% heat is generated along the number 2 zone, and number 3 zone the rest is distributed or dispersed along the surfaces. This is a plane of machining. This is a back plane and the work plane. You can see the x-axis is along the work plane, and the longitudinal motion from here to here can be provided along the work plane, that is parallel to the x-axis, and cross feed is provided for providing the required depth of cut is given along the y-axis. This is the y-axis perpendicular to the workpiece axis. That is a radial field also. This is a radial field, and here is a feed force. Feed force or thrust force acts along the x-axis. Radial feed acts along the y-axis, and one component acts along vertically downwards. This is cutting force. Cutting force acts along vertically downwards from the cutting point, that is the tangentially from the cutting point. This is the formation of the chips, how the chips are formed. You can see whenever the tool is getting placed over the workpiece material, the severe high compressive zone are produced, and this is the shear plane. Theta is the shear angle, shear plane angle, and in this zone, these serrations of the parallel plates are produced. whenever the compressive stress, whenever the external force magnitude exceeds the value of the ultimate strength of the workpiece material, then the plastic deformation, then the deformation takes place and this serration takes place. This is also called the lamellar sliding of the plates, and thus the mechanism takes place. Compressive force of the tool, elastic and plastic deformation of the workpiece material add to the tool, and exceeding of the external force value that of the yield strength of the material. Cutting ratio R, small r is equal to T1. T1 means the primary thickness before the chip formation, and T2 is the chip thickness after separation. This is the primary thickness, this is the final or after the chip separation takes place. We need that T2 is greater such that the power consumption and the force will be required less. That is why the T2 should be greater than that of T1, and if it is happened, then the machinability will be getting higher. That is why chip thickness ratio should be less than 1. Type of chips already said, produced for the ductile material, it is produced for the brittle material, and it is produced where the friction and the high pressure is generated. This is the shear angle, this is the serration of the chips, the lamellar sliding of the plates actually. After that, the complete chip flow is occur, then chips flows outwards from the deck surface. This is a chip formation in brittle materials. Very quickly, the crack is initiated and propagates and finally meets together. Very quickly and suddenly, this phenomenon takes place of the brittle material, and other parameters is the force and the deformation across the shear plane are the same. This is a brief idea of the mechanism of the chip formation.